Good day guys, welcome back to the English class. In today's class we'll be looking at other questions that we have in logarithm. So we'll be solving more questions in logarithm to see how well and how good we are in what? In logarithm. Now for the first question we'll be having what? We have 3 raised power 2x minus 1 equals what? 5 raised power x. Now to solve this. Now how will I solve it? Solution. To solve this question we have this to be the question, which is what? 3 raised power 2x minus 1 equals what? 5 raised power x. Now, in indices, if we had something like, say, 2 raised power x equals 4, what's the answer? 2 raised power x equals what? 3 raised power 2. Therefore, x is what? 2 in that case. But in this case, they don't have the same base. So, what will I do? The best thing I can do is to what? Is to introduce what? Logarithm. How will I introduce logarithm? Log both sides. That becomes what? Log 3 raised power 2x minus 1 equals log what? 5 raised power x. In which case, in logarithm, one of the laws of logarithm is that what? When I have something like this, I can bring this power to the back. So that becomes what? 3. That becomes what? 2x minus 1 log 3 equals what? X can come to the back also. That becomes what? X log what? 5. In which case I will now have what? 2x minus 1 over x equals what? Log 5 over what? Log 3. Now, in which case I can what? Find what log 5 is. Find what log 3 is. Divide and I'll get my what? My x. Now log 5 in this thing is what? 0.6989 over log 3 is what? 0.4771. Now after which I'll now have what? 2x minus 1 over x equals to what? 0.6989 over what? 0.4771. Which after I factorize, you get your answer by saying what? X times this. All these times this, you get your value of what? X. And that's for that. Now for number 2 example, we have what? 4 raised power 2x. 4 raised power 2x equals what? 2 raised power what? 6x minus 1. Okay, so for number 2, we have 4 raised power 2x equals 2 raised power 6x minus 1. In which case, I'm going to be having it as what? 2 raised power 2 all raised power 2x equals to what? 2 raised power 6x minus 1. Where in this case, I can easily represent this for as what? 2 raised power 2 and leave this one as 2. So I can have the same base. Now, on expanding, I'm going to have that as what? 2 all raised power what? 4x. Where applying one of our law of indices, we have this as what? 2 times 2, that's 4. Equals what? 2 raised power what? 6x minus 1. Okay, now, of which I have the same base, I can have it as what? 4x equals what? 6x minus 1. On solving, bring 6x to this side, I'm going to have it as what? 4x minus 6x equals minus 1. So I have left with minus 2x equals minus 1, of which my x equals to what? 1 over 2. Now, that's the value of my x. Okay, so given number 3 question, we have it as what? We have it as log 8 base x minus log 16 base x squared equals 1. Now, in this case, what will I do? The best thing I can do here is to what? Make my base the same. How will I make it the same? This is x squared. If you recall, in our previous classes, we have gotten a question like log x squared base 3, such that if I want to bring 2 to the back, it becomes what? 2 log what? X base what? 3. But in this case, the reverse will be the case. So, log 8 base x minus, bringing 2 to the back here becomes 1 over 2 instead of 2 over 1, like this case. So that becomes 1 over 2 log what? 16 base x equals what? 1. Of which I can now bring 1 over 2 up. That becomes what? Log 8 base x minus what? Log 16 raised power 1 over 2 base what? X equals 1. Okay, so from there, what will I have? From there, I'll be having what? Log 8 base x over 16 raised power 1 over 2, since they have the same base, equals what? Equals 1. Okay, now log 16 raised power 1 over 2 is the same thing as root 16, which is 4. So I'm going to have that as what? Log what? 8 over 4 base x equals what? 1. Of which log 8 over 4 is the same thing as what? Log 2 base x equals 1. Applying our law of logarithm, what happens? 2 equals what? X raised to power 1. Of which my x is equals to what? 2. That's for number 2 question. Now, for number 3 question now, I'm giving log 3 base x plus log x base 3 equals what? 2.5. Now, in this case, what will I do? I have to make my base also the same thing. How will I make my base the same thing? I rather make my base of base x of base 3. So whichever I want to do, let's leave it in base x for this case. Plus, to make this one in base x, how will it be? It becomes what? 1 over log 3 base x, in which case the base inverts. So you can leave this as 2.5 or you can change it, depends on you. Now, what will I do from here? I have to multiply by what? Log 3 base x, which becomes what? Log 3 base x all squared plus what? 1, because when I multiply by log 3 base x, it cancels out, equals 2.5 log what? 3 base x. Okay, so from there, what will I have? Let a be equals to what? Log 3 base x. So my equation will be easier to solve. So if a is log 3 base x, what will that be? It now becomes what? A squared. This is a. We have our squared there. Plus 1 equals what? 2.5 can be written as 25 over 10, which is 5 over 2. So that's 5 over 2 a. Why? Because log 3 base x is what? Is now a. Multiply by 2, all I have? I will have what? 2a squared plus 2. I'll be having what? 2a squared plus 2 equals what? 5. 2a squared plus 2 equals 5a. Now from there, what would that become? That becomes what? 2a squared minus 5a equals, okay, plus 2 equals 0. Of which, looking at this, how will I solve it? I would apply quadratic formula by saying what? What factors will I have to get minus 5? What factors will I multiply to get what? Plus 4. That becomes 2a squared minus 4a minus a plus 2 equals 0. In which case that becomes what? 2a into what? A minus 2 minus 1 into what? A minus 2 equals 0. Of which all I have? I will have 2a minus 1 and what? A minus 2 equals 0. Where my a is what? 1 over 2 or a is 2. I'm not looking for a, I'm looking for x. Recall, my a is what? Log 3 base x, which becomes, when a is 1 over 2, what will I have? I will have 1 over 2 equals what? Log 3 base x. Apply logarithm formula, that becomes x comes here, raise it up. 1 over 2 equals 3. In which case, after solving, my x equals what? Root 3. Because if I find this, that should be 3 squared in that case. Because I have to find the square of both sides. So that's 3 squared, that's 9. Okay, so for my x, when a is 1 over 2, I have it as 9. Then when a is 2, that becomes what? Log 3 base x equals 2. Okay, in which case, what would that be? That becomes what? 3 equals what? X raised to power 2. Now, in this case, I have to find the square root of both sides. It implies that my what? My x equals what? Root 3. So that's how to basically solve these questions.